and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me yet, I'm Moagi. As parents, it is our desire to do the best for our children and for ourselves. In doing that, we encounter different challenges and different struggles. Today, I'm joined by a parent who's going to take us through her parenting journey, and I believe that we are going to learn a thing or two from what she has to share. Thank you so much for being here. Tell the people a bit about who you are.
Hello everybody, welcome to Moagi's channel. My name is Melo. It's at Boyd's M87 on Instagram and at Autism Mom 101 on YouTube. I'm a mother to an autistic child, a girl of 7 years old. I'm a single parent, a full-time single parent, and we're just here to unpack more on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So when you were growing up, when you started thinking about having a child, did you have a plan to say, I'm going to parent in this way and that way, I'm going to use this parenting method or that parenting method? Did you have anything like that?
Honestly, no. I'm that weird person that never really has a plan for anything. I believe that God is in charge of everything. So no matter what I plan, everything is going to go according to his will anyways. So once I found out I was having my little girl, I was just, happy, ecstatic, and I was just looking forward to, being a parent.
Yeah.
What kind of a parent?
You didn't have a plan.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, once I found out I was pregnant, I had the best pregnancy journey, honestly. Till date, every time somebody says I'm pregnant, I still get shivers because I had the time of my life when I was pregnant. I had the best supportive partner, even though I was getting bigger and bigger every day. But it was, the support around me, the friends and everybody. People were just so... so I didn't really had any plans, for how I would want her to be. Oh no, I didn't.
You just enjoyed the journey.
I just, accepted that, this is where I am, make the best of it. Yeah, and that's what I did.
And during your pregnancy, did you know that your child was going to have autism, or was it only after birth?
No, it wasn't even after birth, honestly, because throughout my pregnancy, everything was normal. All the medical reports and everything, she was a bit bigger than, normal. But no, there were no signs or anything that said there was nothing,
Anything
But anyways, maybe you'll get to understand why as we go on, because, she's one of a kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So at what stage did you find out that your baby girl was autistic?
So, my daughter is a bit tricky. So what I can say, I think mostly it was when she got to the talking stage, when your child, she's talking, but you can hear that there's something missing there. So her speech is what mostly got me worried. But then again, I was like, okay, she can still say mama, she can say auntie, she can, tell me about the toys. But, with things that she doesn't understand, she'll show you and so forth. But I was like, no, okay. So it wasn't until maybe she was 3.5 when she had to start crash now.
Okay.
So that's when I was like, okay, no, I saw the tantrums were getting, too much. And then even the attention there and there, I could see that, no, okay, sometimes when you talk to her, she would look at you, sometimes she didn't. Yes. So, sorry. So that's the speech is mostly what gave it away. That's what made me even go to say, okay, let me seek help when it comes to her, yes.
And before you got to a stage of seeking help, how was it for you? How was it for you to have this baby girl that you love and you try to communicate with her but not get attention sometimes? You try to communicate with her, but her speech is not as other children her age. How was that experience for you?
You know what, with me, I don't know, maybe I'm just a different person. But like I said, it was just a speech. And it wasn't even like she couldn't speak at all, or she couldn't, so I could have a conversation with her and say, please pick that up, or please don't do this, please. You could see that she understands.
She understood it.
So it was just those few things, man, that just made me feel like, okay, maybe there's something, there's something different. And again, remember with me, I only have her. She's the only,
So there's no one to compare
and
to.
exactly. And with other kids, family kids and what's not, I only get to experience them maybe when they've grown. And so I don't live with them for me to have said, okay, no, by this time, this one was doing that, which is also still not a good idea.
Yeah,
we don't do
yeah.
that because all kids are different. Yeah, but with her, no, it was just the speech. And I felt like, no, by now, I feel like my daughter should be,
talking
because maybe sometimes you even go maybe when you're outside and so forth. That's why I don't even like being out with her, because that's why I get to compare her more.
With
and I feel it's
others.
unfair sometimes
Yes.
because, we get to overdo it. Now it's like you're expecting your child to be like somebody else's child. But then that's where I got to notice as well, maybe when we're outside, maybe to a restaurant and what's not, you're like, okay, no, they're the same age, but this child can articulate more, this child can, but then yes. So it's such things that made me realize that, okay, no, maybe there's something to look into here. And then, okay, even some family members, I remember when she was 3, 4, we had gone home. But then remember, I also suffer from anxiety. So I just thought maybe she's anxious as well, just like me. So we would go and then people would be like, I had a family member that picked it up before even, I had, but I wasn't sure.
Yes.
But then she was like, no, please take her to maybe a pediatrician and so forth. And remember, by that time, she was seeing a pediatrician.
Okay.
But then she was just like me, like, okay, she will,
She'll
outgrow
get there.
it.
Yeah.
Some kids are slower than the others. Some kids start talking later than the others. So, yeah, that was the main thing with her. She wasn't the kind of child that you could say, okay, you could be sure that there is definitely something. Yes. So it was something that you had to even dig deeper have to be a professional
to know.
To know, yes, yes.
And later on, when you did establish that, yes, she was autistic, and when you looked back to say, my pediatrician said, no, it will grow, like she'll grow out of it. Did you not feel any funny ways regarding that pediatrician?
What? Okay, let me just even take you through the journey.
Okay, let's go.
So remember now, I told you when she was 3, the family member pointed it out, and then I went to another pediatrician.
Okay.
Funny enough. So I got to this pediatrician. Now this pediatrician starts giving me a list of things to do, right?
Okay.
One of them includes having to take my child for a brain, what do they call it? Not even a scan. It's not a scan. It's like where they have to go inside the brain to stop something. I can't remember what is that. I can't remember exactly what is that, right? So now, okay, I go to this pediatrician. Pediatrician is like, okay, take her to the eye doctor. I took my daughter to the eye doctor. My daughter got spectacles. I took my child to the radiologist, So all this list that she gave me until we got to that specific one that was telling us that now we have to take her in for whatever. It's not a scan. It's not really a scan. I can't remember what is that thing that they do to the brain.
Okay.
So that's where I got uneasy.
Okay.
I got a bit uneasy. I was like, no, I'm not comfortable with this, And with me, I'm the kind of person that, okay, tell me there's a problem, but then give me
a solution.
Yeah, that's what I want. So now, okay, while I'm still busy with that, sometime I think on my WhatsApp status, I saw, and I had seen it before, but then I just, I was like, okay, no, I'll do it. I remember I even screenshotted it, but then I think I forgot about it. So a colleague of mine actually posted that her aunt is a neurologist, neurodevelopmental practitioner. So that's when I went back to that. I was like, oh, I had something like this. And then, okay, I took down the numbers. I called, I made an appointment. And then that's where I got all kind of like the answers that I've always needed, honestly. So I got to see her, and then immediately when we got there, she's like, no, man, she's autistic. Your child has ASD and ADHD. What is that? And then that's why she got to unpack everything for me. And I was like, it made sense.
Yeah.
It really did make sense. And then now I had to explain to her that now we were supposed to go for. She's like, no. Most people diagnose such things because it's not all doctors that are equipped for that, and they know all the science. When it comes to autism, the kids are different. So it's very difficult for you to even tell most of the times if a child is autistic or not. And in my daughter's case, because most of the things, especially in our cultures and so forth, we expect that, okay, if a child can walk, talk, scream, hear, listen, and, there's nothing wrong with the child. Yes. So with my daughter, it's a bit tricky when it comes to that as well. If you don't know, you wouldn't immediately pick it up.
So depending on the scale, on the spectrum, that will determine how much help one needs. Is that how it works?
Yes. So there is levels. There's kids that need little to no help. There's kids that need help to a certain extent, and then there's kids that need help fully.
Completely. Yeah. And where does your daughter fall?
Yeah. Okay. The third one, she doesn't fall there where she needs help fully.
Yeah.
But she's fluctuating between the two now. So I don't know where she falls between the not needing help and
Or
the
needing
needing
a bit of help. Yeah.
So she's in between there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes my daughter, it's a bit tricky. It's very tricky.
Yeah.
Because she's autistic and there's I don't know. Okay, there's stereotype around it that autistic kids, they don't like music. They don't,
no
those.
Noise,
my daughter is completely the opposite. She's very independent. She loves beautiful things. She's her own person. She wants to she wants to cook. She wants to clean. She wants to look pretty. She's just like the opposite of everything. That's why, like, sometimes I feel like, okay, even if you are suspecting something, please don't Google these things.
Yeah.
Do not Google these things. If you are suspecting that your child might have a problem or whatever, rather approach a professional, so that you don't misdiagnose your child, because there are those people that actually think everything with autism is money, it's expensive. Okay, yes, to an extent it is, because obviously you have to help this little person of yours to fit in a way, you understand? So, but it's not about that. Just get the necessary help and then, take it from there.
Okay. And what type of support medically did you require once she was diagnosed? So the first pediatrician told you, do the scan, do that scan. Now, once you got the correct one who was able to give her a correct diagnosis, what was the next step medically?
So with that one, she's actually my favorite person till date, because that lady, I got there, I sat down with her, she told me the problem, she gave me, this is what we can do to help her. And it's things that we're still doing till date, and it's working out. You get what I mean? So for me, okay, we are on medical aid, even though it gets exhausted before even mid-year. But it does help a lot, honestly, when it comes to that. It does cover for all those scans we need, medication. She has medications that she takes daily to help with because she can get very hyperactive. So it helps with to calm her down, and it's supposed to help with concentration as well. And so she sees a speech therapist and a occupational therapist weekly now, but luckily it's at her school, so they come to her school. And then the neurologist she sees twice a year. So it's out of pocket mostly, but I will say that government does provide for such things. It's just, as we know, with government, things take, a bit of time, and sometimes it can be a bit, strenuous, but they do give help when it comes to that. It's still a long way, but there is help.
So even with the diagnosis, everything, there are support structures that government does provide.
Yes. There is. Even schools, they do have schools where they can place kids. Even medication. I saw in an autism group, that they do even give out medication at some public hospitals. Yes. So there is. There is.
So all hope is not lost. No. So first of all, if you do suspect that your child might be autistic, just go for the scan, and especially not the scan, go for the consultation and find out really, especially since government does provide that. And if you have that confirmation, then please do the right thing, go for that therapy or whatever you are asked to do according to the doctors and the pediatricians. Once you found out and now it's clear, okay, this is the problem, this is the solution, emotionally, mentally, how was that for you?
Honestly, yeah, I don't want to lie. I didn't really have any reaction towards it because in a way I knew. In a way, you get what I mean.
Ahead of
Like,
time.
yeah, I knew that. Okay, there was a. Hence, I took the steps and the measures that I did. So once I found out, I just wanted to find out. Okay, how do we help my child? And I got answers to that. So now I had to make sure that I did as I'm told, and then get the necessary help for her. So I didn't really know. It wasn't a roller coaster like most people say. It was an emotional. And the funny part is when I took her to the neurologist for the first time, she was like, "Why are you so calm? Most parents break down when I tell them such news." I was like, "No, I'm here for help. I need help, more than anything. And I'm here for her. So if I'm breaking down, yes." So that's how I actually took it. And till date, I think the only thing that will make me break down sometimes is the emotional part of it, because sometimes she gets too emotional. She'll be crying all over the place, and you don't even know, even the meltdowns, the tantrums, they are 500 times more. So those are the things that actually get to me, because I feel like, okay, I got help. As what about this? I need helps to know how to calm her down. I need help because I do by now. Obviously, I have found ways. I know, okay, when she's like this, I have to do this. But it takes time, because remember, she has to go through until she actually does calm down. Okay. So yeah. It's that's the part that actually gets to me, where I feel like, oh my gosh, no. No. Yeah, but other than that, Katie, like, I feel like I have the best daughter in the world. My daughter is just, she's a ball. Everybody that comes across her. I'm the kind of person, like, I'm a very reserved person. I'm not out there. I don't, with her, she's a ball of fun. She loves people. She's, everywhere we go, she wants to talk to people. She wants to, she's just a breath of fresh air. So for me, I won in a way. I got everything I needed from my child, and I believe that God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. Amen. So that's why ever since I've had my daughter, I cannot tell you if I ever struggled. We lost her dad when she was a year old, right? And obviously it was before we even found out that she had. But ever since then, when it comes to her struggles, I cannot lie to you and say, okay, I had to pay for medical bills. I didn't have money. No, something always comes up. Something always happens. Even when I feel like, oh, how am I going to do? Something always happens. So God is with us, that I can tell you. And it's happening, and it's just something so wonderfully made in a way, because wow, it's when you're told that somebody can't do this and they actually do it, and they don't just do it, they excel at it. It's wonderful. So that's what the life we're living right now. Because one minute you think, okay, no, maybe she can't do this, but then she'll come and do that. The things she's saying even now, it is so amazing. Like, for somebody who couldn't even, now it's like she's vocal, she's always talking. Always talking. So yeah, I'm just so grateful. I don't want to lie. I'm so grateful, especially when it comes to my daughter. I feel like she changed my life. Like I'm saying, I'm trying to even unpack the kind of person that I am. I'm just my own kind of person. But she is bringing out the best in me. She's teaching me a lot about myself, especially the patience part. Yeah. She's teaching me a lot. So yeah, it's good, man. It's a bliss.
Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of gratitude. I'm getting a lot of positivity. But you also mentioned that sometimes emotionally it becomes a lot. Can you just for us to kind of get a glimpse into your life, a day in the life of Boitumelo, mom of a beautiful autistic girl. Yes. Tell us just a bit, how does it go? What do you experience from morning until nighttime? Just take us through your day.
So if she's not at school, obviously we're together at home. It's just the two of us. It will depend on the mood that day. You'll just see in the morning. If she's in a bad mood, she will scream her lungs out. She will cry. What are you crying for? It changes. 1 minute I'm crying for a pen. Next thing I want a night dress like yours. Next thing I want to do my hair. Next thing I want to do my nails. So it's that. And remember, during that time, she's crying, she's screaming. And it can go on for like an hour or 2 hours straight. You get what I mean? I also get frustrated. I'm anxious. I don't know what to do. So, but once that is over, believe me, the hyperactivity comes. She'll be jumping on top of couches. She's screaming. She's laughing. She's making fun of you. And then the next thing, okay, she's just down. Then that, she wants to sleep. And then she'll sleep. And then that's how I'm like, now I also need to sleep because wow. But sometimes I can't even sleep because I'm working from home. When she's sleeping, at least I can get to work. So life as an autistic mom and autism mom, it's challenging. It's different. It's very different. Yeah. So daily, it's there are days where it's just smooth. She'll wake up in the morning happy, and we go to bed we happy. So yeah, that's just what can you tell. Can you see?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Where were we?
Yeah, I just experienced her daughter firsthand, and I just must say she's very strong. All you autistic moms, you are very strong, and dads and support structures. Big ups to y'all. Like big ups to y'all. Like, what was that? It wasn't even an hour. It wasn't even 30 minutes.
Wasn't, eh?
But it felt like...
No, it's a new space for her, different people she's seen. Yeah, so that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Even when I take her maybe to shops, like shopping or whatever, it takes a while for her to. So it's either she'll be too clingy or she wants to, she'll be screaming and yeah.
And you just remain calm.
What can I do? Should I scream with her?
Yeah.
One thing I can tell you about being an autism parent, you need all the patience in the world.
Yeah.
You need you need to be very patient, because at the end of the day, you should know that this person is not,
it's not like she's doing it on purpose.
Yes. Yeah. So it does get to you because, we're human as well. But then you have to calm yourself down and realize that, no, you know what, if she could, because even with her, she will do this. And then afterwards, Mama, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And sometimes she'll even say, what's happening to me? So as a parent, what do you do? She'll be like, I don't know what's happening to me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So she does see that what she's doing is not the best behavior, and
yeah, she will apologize for it. Yes.
Handle it.
Yes. Because lately, I didn't even realize it was the side effects for her medication, because she never had, ever since she started with her medication, she never had side effects. So she would start to be violent, like she'd be violent, throwing things around and whatnot. But then she'll come down, and then that's when she'll apologize. And I'm also, in shock. I'm like, I've never seen this before. But then that's when I realized, no, I went back and read on the medication. I was like, oh, it's one of the side effects. Yeah.
Was it a different medication that was
No, it's the same.
Still.
Hence I'm saying it's the same.
So it wasn't giving her these side effects before, and now it's just...
Now, yeah. But when I spoke to my aunt, actually, it's like, okay, no, we got to realize that maybe there's something happening. Obviously, she's at school. There's, new teachers. There's, it's a new year. So there's different things that might be happening during the day. So now she lashes out when she gets home. Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
And when you are in public, in a restaurant, shopping, and you meet a guy who's like, wait a king, this mother... How do you handle it? Because oftentimes we do judge mothers, but you don't even know to say, this is not a child who's just been spoiled. This is a child who is autistic, and she's not in control of it. How do you handle that?
Yeah, okay, it differs. Like sometimes I will just be in my feelings as well and just, tell Gatleho off or whatever. But mostly I focus on her. I focus on her. I remember lately we went out, we went to for swimming. So my thing with my daughter is it's her way or the highway. So if she wants to do something, she wants to do it, She doesn't understand, how can you say I cannot do it while I know I can do it? You get? So we went there, and I just didn't want her to swim. Like I didn't I didn't want her to swim. And she's like, I want to swim. Mama, can I please swim? She's even showing me. I'm like, no, I'm not comfortable. Because I didn't have those puffer things for her, But then she's like, no, Mama, look at the kids are swimming. And I was like, and she was screaming and crying. There's a lady sitting next to us, and she's just, mumbling all this funny things. So I was just like, and what's your problem? She's like, I don't have a problem. All kids cry, but why is she screaming? I'm like, but funny enough, kids are, when kids are playing in the water, obviously they're screaming. I'm like, they're screaming there, but this one in particular, it's. But then I was like, you know what? No, it's not worth it. Focus on this one. And then, eventually I let her get her way, and life went on. Life went on. And that's just what happens all the time. She would scream, and once she comes back to reality or whatever we call it, you are still left in your feelings. She has moved on. She's happy now. She's doing her own thing. So,
and 2 questions. One, what can you say to us who just look at you in public and judge you and judge your daughter? And 2, how do you manage to successfully not resent your child after all of that? Like, yes, you free spirit and everything, but I feel like as a human being, you might get to a place of being like, oh, so now you're fine. Now you're fine. Now I'm still at this place. I don't know how, God knows what he does and everything, but I feel like as human beings, there might be a bit of resentment. So how do you handle it?
Okay, with the katlechos of the world, I would say, you know what, I'm one person that doesn't like to judge, honestly. And I always say now in my adult life that you don't know how to handle something until you are in it or it's happening to you. So in a way, I always pull myself back and try and understand. Well, if it was me and I was experiencing somebody who, because I haven't had an autistic child for the rest of my life, there were some points where I didn't even think I liked kids. Like, you get what I mean? So I tried to think of that, okay, obviously I must have had somebody as well with that, so I try to be there, put myself there and be like, you know what, okay, it's about me, it's about my daughter. Let me not focus on other people. But in other instances, like I told you, she's a very bubbly person. She'll be, and then the minute and people will start understanding, be like, oh my gosh, what happened to that bubbly person? There are some of those that actually want to find out and want to know. And be like, oh, what happened? I'm like, no, she has autism. Oh, autism. But then now it comes back to, people feeling sorry for you. Like, oh, how do you cope? How do you? But yeah, that's what was the second question?
How do you not find yourself feeling resentful, or do you ever find yourself feeling resentful towards her or angry at her for making you go through what in the highs and the lows, and then now she's just back to normal?
So I think that happens all the time because, like I'm saying, she can scream and kick and throw things for like an hour or 2 max, and I'll just be angry, like, how do you do that? I'll even tell her, like, how can you do that? That's when she's like, Mama, I'm sorry, I don't know. I won't do it again. Pinky promise, But I will actually be angry, but then I'm like, okay, what am I angry for? And then what's going to happen? What does it help? But I do get, like, in my feelings most of the times, like, oh my gosh. Like I'm saying, she'll even be crying for a small, like, tissue. She's crying for toilet paper. She's crying for anything. Anything that can give her an excuse to be doing what she's doing at that time, So, yeah.
Like, oftentimes we do that, right? I'm guilty of that, like looking at someone and being like, how can your child be so spoiled and stuff, right? And there's no one who's labeled to say, hey, I'm autistic, hey, I'm going through this, hey, I'm this or I'm that. So the best thing for us is to not judge people, it's to not judge. And that's the main message that I just got now from what you said. And yes, you love your child, and yes, you get to a place of saying, what's the point of me getting angry with her? But apart from that, what do you do to kind of get yourself to... I feel like it takes a lot from you to handle that, right? So how do you fill yourself up again? How do you, sort yourself out?
I'm one person, I always look after myself somehow. Let it be maybe going out, doing different things. It's one of the most important things actually to do as a autism parent. I feel like taking care of yourself is more important because it affects you emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Because most of the times I feel like we're also trying to find answers as to why is my child like this? What can I do? How can I... In my case, it's always what can I do to help her? But in reality, there's nothing that I can do to help her except give her the support that I already am giving her, So we need to make time, find that time to, like you're saying, take care of yourself, fill yourself up, and then to make sure you're the best parent for them. So I go out, read a book, I try get some me time. I try and get a lot of me time, do solo dates, go out with friends, something that doesn't involve her even an hour or two, just to, be away from her. So even though at the back of my mind, you'll be like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? Do they understand? You get what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it helps a lot. It does help.
And in terms of course, you asked why, sometimes you ask yourself, why is my child like this? Did you ever find out why? Is there what happened to her that didn't happen to other child? Why is she autistic?
The truth is, nobody knows, because everybody comes with their own theories. At one moment it's genetic, sometimes something that might have happened, but from what I've researched and understood, nobody knows. It's just one of those, that just happened. Like I'm saying, I feel like it's God's will. Hence, it's not everybody that has, So it's just one of those special things that happen in life, I think. I would label it as that.
And you mentioned that her father passed away when she was 1, and you found out around 4, when she was around
3,
4
years.
And when you found out and he wasn't there, how was that for you?
For me, I think I had gotten used to the fact that he wasn't there. She was already 4, almost 4. So I had already gotten. So with my case, when it comes to the genetic part, there is mental illness from his side, and from my side as well. There's a few cases of that. So I think I just made peace with it. It's something that I just chose to accept, that okay, it's like this. Even though the challenges that come with it obviously will set you back a bit. But yeah, he was a hands-on dad, like I told you from the beginning when she was conceived until, he was a hands-on dad. So I know he wouldn't expect me to, act any different. Yeah, I think he would just want me to support our child. Yeah. I feel like that.
That's great. And what your support structure? Who's part of it now?
So, it's a lot of people now that I get to think about it.
Yeah.
Now that I get to think about it, from friends to family. And the weirdest part is that my family is normal. You get what I don't know if you understand, because it's we're expecting people to be, a certain way. Yeah. But no, it's normal, especially with my dad. My dad is they get along like nobody's business. It's how did you even? Because I don't think he was even. Yes, I don't even think he was also aware of such things. But it's just normal. It's just nothing. Honestly, I'd be lying if I said that there's any special treatments. She's a child.
Yeah.
She's a child in the family. Yeah. So from both sides, my mom and my dad's side, she's a child. Everybody loves her because of how she is. Everybody understands her, Even my cousin, the one we're with now, she's always like, no, we have to just try and understand her.
Yeah,
she's so patient.
She's so patient.
She's a teacher, so I think she gets her. She's like, no, she just needs you to understand her. You need to understand her. Yeah. So I feel like that's how my family is. They actually do, they are wonderful. Even friends, my friends, they are there, they are there for the chats, for the, the breakdowns, and So I have a lot of people actually. I have even though it's just the two of us in the house, but there's a lot of people that I can always reach out to that are there for us. Yeah.
And what I'm getting is that, I'm looking at you, listening to your story, and I looked at your child the few minutes that I've been with her, and feels like, I could never do this. But I feel like whatever God Almighty allows you to go through, yes, before you go through it, it's I can never go through it.
Yes.
But the minute he allows you to go through it, he kind of like says, okay, let's put on the armor, let's put on the resources. Here's your bag of equipment. Go for it, right? And there might be a parent who just recently found out that their child has autism or any other problem. How can you encourage such a parent right now?
First of all, I'll say it's about the child. It's not about you. They take first preference, and you must also make sure you take care of yourself mentally. Go through whatever emotions that you have to go through, but then come back to the the main thing, the most important part, your child. Understand that if you are feeling the way you are feeling, how is the child feeling? So support your child first and take care of yourself as well. Those are the two most important things. The others, the people, the families, who's gonna say what, they come after. If you and your kids are fine, you can handle anything. You can handle anything.
Yeah. And I know that you are full of gratitude and positivity. But if someone were to ask you, like, what is the greatest thing that has happened in your life as a result of having the daughter that you have? What is the best thing that you can pinpoint?
She is the best.
Yeah.
But a lot of other things. Like I'm saying, I'm a very patient person. Non-judgmental. I've learned to be compassionate. I've learned to, understand, to be understanding, to try, and even though it doesn't make sense, try and understand, be understanding at the end of the day. And not be selfish, not to be selfish, to think of the next person more than you think of yourself.
Yeah.
Putting somebody else's needs before yours, to say, if somebody else is fine, I'm fine, regardless of whether I have everything that I thought I ever needed. But as long as that person is fine, I know everything else will fall into place. Yeah. That's what I go with.
That's great. I think a lot of times we say prayers, like, God, make me more patient, make me more this, make me more that, make me more Christ-like. But there are different situations that he has placed us in. There are different people that he has put on our path to help us be patient, to help us be less judgmental and all of that. But we overlook that. Like, instead of saying, this baby, beautiful as she is and maybe dramatic as she is, she's going to help me become more Christ-like, more godly. Instead, you want to say, or this situation, instead of saying, God, make me all that you want me to be through this situation, through this person, through this relationship.
And one thing I can tell you, like I said to you, he always makes a way.
Yeah.
He always makes a... That's one thing I've learned since I've had my daughter, I don't think I've ever been this spiritual in my life. I don't think I've ever prayed as much as I do now. But he always, even when you're beating yourself up for that particular thing, one day, the next, you wake up, something happened. It's just some, I don't know what to even call it, but it's God. It's God, yeah. He's there. He makes a way. If you're just faithful, even when you're not faithful, actually, because there are times where I'm just like, but he's there. He makes a way. Like, he gave you this for a reason. So make the best out of it. And then he has your back. He'll always have your back.
Yeah. And just for a skeptic watching who's like, yeah, you're telling me he's making a way. How did he make a way? Can you yes, you told us that sometimes your medical aid gets maxed out.
Not even sometimes.
All the time.
All the time. All throughout the year, by March, April, okay, maybe the most can be May. My medical aid runs out. And then from there on, everything else is on me. I have to pay for the bills myself. So those are the things that obviously I'm not or something. So I always have to, patch this and patch that and but it always works out. That's what I'm saying. It always works out. He always makes a way for some reason. Something always comes up and it happens.
Yeah.
So you'll find sometimes it's like, okay, I maybe, when you're making the budget that I'll have to choose between this and that, you'll find they all happen. So for me, it can only be God. I don't know. it can only be God. Maybe sometimes you're even running so short. But before, even then at work, over time, you're like, oh, okay. We have overtime. It's going to go a long way. That's helping me. So it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that sometimes people will not even understand, especially people that are, not that spiritual. Yeah, you will not understand. But yeah, it's those little things. You count them because you've prayed for them. You always pray that God make a way. God show yourself. God, help me through this. So, yeah.
I feel like God Almighty is such a show off in some instances. Like he'll show himself to be strong and to be mighty in our lives, so that next time, next challenge, next difficulty, we can be like, okay, I'm feeling a bit fearful. Okay, I'm feeling a bit doubtful. But man, when I remember how far he has taken me from, when I remember the many testimonies he has given me and my child and my family and this, I have no other option but to trust him and to trust that he's going to do it again and again and again. So whatever situation you're going through, don't just focus on the negative side of it, but focus on the fact that God Almighty is using it to prepare you and to just fill that bucket of things to remember, of that bucket of testimonies in your life. I'd like us to talk about work. You mentioned that you're working, you're a single parent. How does your employer, or how can employers support their employees? How can managers support autism parents, and not only autism parents, but parents who are going through something similar to autism parents?
So in this case, I'll speak for myself. So at my work, I disclosed. Obviously, I had to let them know, and fortunately, they are so understanding. My manager, my team leaders, they always understanding when it comes to my daughter. They're always understanding. So I will always let them know, just to inform them of what is happening. Sometimes she gets sickly. Sometimes, there are things that I can't do because I need to take her for her checkups and so forth. There's always that support. We always find a workaround. Maybe they'll even say, okay, no, how are you planning to do this? Maybe give us an idea. And I've never gotten, any negativity with regards to that. So, my employers, they are very, very supportive. So I would say maybe disclose, be as open as possible. Let them know upfront of what is happening and what kind of support you're going to need. You understand? So in my case, at the time, I didn't know what kind of support I was going to need. I just told them that, this is my case and I might need support. I just don't know what.
How?
Yeah. So even with my manager, Shame, she's just, wow. Every time, actually, before she speaks to me, even those hard conversations, she'll ask us, how's your daughter doing? She even calls her daughter. She's like, how's my daughter doing first before we get into this? So just to get my state of mind of, where we are. So my employer, when it comes to that, they are very great. I'm very grateful for that. So I would say have those conversations, be upfront, let them know of the support you're gonna need so that they can be there for you and how best they can assist you, in this case, because with autistic kids, this, you can never say it's something is like this. You cannot put, a tag on it, because you never know. By tomorrow, the child is sick or the tantrums have started. You don't know. Maybe you have to fetch them from school early. Thank God that has never happened to me so far. But yes, just have those conversations. That's what I would say. Have a conversation. Be honest about where you are, your state of mind. If you need support, because I remember my manager was asking me, do you need support, like to talk to somebody? If you have that at your work, that will even be great, because you can talk to somebody and then, they can give them a full-on report to say, this is where this person is at this time. Yeah. So conversation, have that honest conversation with your employer and take it from there.
Yeah, I like that you said be honest about it and say that you need support, because sometimes, yes, you're there and you do need support, but I may not be able to support you if I don't know that you need the support. So it goes both ways. You disclose, and as an employer, before we start saying CSI and charity that, let's start charity within our organization by supporting the people in our employ who do need our support. How is it like with school? I hear you mentioning school and I'm like, how does it go?
So, with school, as an autistic parent, it's so difficult to find a school for your child, especially in the mainstream schools. Obviously, the minute you say she has autism, it's like, I don't know if they've cancelled us or what has happened. But luckily, the school that my daughter is at right now, it is a mainstream school, and I think they only have 2 now. She used to be the only one, the only autistic child they had. But now I had class teacher saying, no, they have another boy in the class. He's also autistic. They are so wonderful. There isn't a lot of kids in the class. What I like about them, they learn through play. They make time for her specifically, to make sure they cater for her needs wherever she's struggling. Obviously, she has the speech therapist, and so they're working together, to help her. Hence, I'm saying with her, every time I see such a huge improvement. Honestly, even academically, she's doing so well. Yeah. So I feel like it's the support, it's that kind of school. So all autism parents will tell you that your no is a word that we use to. Everywhere it's no. No. I can't even mention how many schools I try to take her to, because like I said, autistic kids are different. There are some autistic kids that will do well in only autistic school, and only but I felt like my daughter could do better. Like I'm saying with her, she's, in between sometimes. Yeah, so there's things that I feel like if she's only at an autism school or a special school, she won't flourish in. Even though sometimes, when it's really that hard, that's why you feel like
I should have done it. Yeah.
Yes. Even though they are very expensive, honestly, especially the private schools, the special schools. Special schools are expensive. The school that she's at, obviously, okay, it's not cheap, but I can manage. I can manage to take her there, and they're doing so well with her. She's been there for 2. She's the second year now. She started grade R there, so she's doing well, and they are supporting her, from the principal to the, even now during school holidays, they were even sending out that, no, maybe you should bring her. We need to teach her how to do, those extra,
nice.
Like they are so wonderful. I don't want to lie. They are even with extra things that they do, they always include her, which is very important for me, because that's what I told them in the beginning, that, okay, we all know she's special. She will also tell you that I'm special. Even her classmates say, Shikoma is very special. So I always tell them that, what, let's do what we normally do. Let's do the normal way. And then if she struggles, then we can, yes. That, yeah. But let's teach her that she's I like see that else. When it comes to the way she's so independent, you can tell that, okay, she is being included, actually, because she's very independent. She wants to do things on her own. She wants to. So I think she's taking it from there. From the fact that she's part of them, everything they do. Last year they were graduating. Oh my gosh, it was so wow. It was wow. It was such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Even the fact that, the kids have gotten used to her, as much as I'm saying, like, they'll say, oh, she's special. She's special. So they also got used to, okay, she's different, but she's one of us. Yes, you get what I mean? Yes. That I think that also makes her belong in a way. The teachers are there, the principal is there. So it is such a wonderful school. Oh my gosh. It is such a wonderful school. Even though when she's going through her, her hurdles and whatnot, I always think of, okay, maybe she would do better there. But when I think of the support she's getting there, it's just so wonderful. It's just one of those hurdles we have to go through, unfortunately, yes. That's parents. Great. Yeah. That's so excellent. You see, like, even now when I'm talking to you, I'm starting to count my blessings. Like, I know I must stop being ungrateful. I must stop being so ungrateful, because it's been a journey. And thank God I'm a fighter. Thank God I'm the kind of person that I am, that chooses to act before breaking down. I'll act and then break down after. That's how I am. Yeah. That's how I am. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. We were recently recording a bullying, an episode on bullying. Please check it out if you haven't. And when doing the research, I learned that children with autism are being bullied. Yes, other children too, but autistic children in particular. And it's so refreshing to hear you say that your school, the school that she's in, is like that.
But like I'm saying, it's just one of those things that you also worry about. That's why I try so much to stay away from such things. I delete myself from such things because, that's where you start even thinking that your child gets a scratch maybe from, you start thinking, oh my gosh, what if? You get what I mean? Like I mentioned that sometimes she'll come home and have tantrums. You start thinking, what if? But with the kind of environment they have at her school, I get to be confident because sometimes I'll even get there as the receptionist. How was she? Did you know? She was just playing around. I saw her. She was. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the teachers. So you can see there's that interaction, even though they let them be themselves, but there's always somebody watching. So that gives me, and it's a small school as well. So yeah, it's and she needs to learn,
Yeah.
she needs to learn.
Yeah.
If there is some kind of bullying, I think my daughter, I'm raising a very strong person, so with time she'll learn to know how to stick up for herself. But I've seen her there and there saying, no, stop it, don't do that, that's not cool, that's mean. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
You're proud
So
of what
yeah,
you've
you
done.
see, yeah. So there is there's a whole lot of good than bad, honestly speaking. There's a lot of good than bad, and I feel like in my case I try to focus more on the good.
So it's excellent to learn that you have the support from your family, your friends, and even the school. Unfortunately, there are people who don't have that support from their immediate environment. Are there support groups, support structures that are available for parents with autistic children?
There is a few. There's actually a lot. On social media platforms, there's one on Facebook. I think it's Autism Support. Yeah. So we also have the Moms of Autistic Kids. I think it's Moagi. Moagi. They're also on Facebook. There's also WhatsApp groups. They also have both. They also have WhatsApp groups. And then there's also support groups around town. I know there's one in Durban, most places in Durban, Cape Town. We also have in Joburg. In Joburg, there's a lot of places actually. There's also a school, special needs school, Autism SA. I can't remember what's the name of the school there. It's by Walter Sisulu. It's they also have support groups there. So it's just about finding out, I think mostly once you can even get the WhatsApp group for the one on Facebook, that's where you'll get all the information about the other support groups.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are all over. They have such, yeah.
Okay. I'll get it from her and I'll be sure to leave it in the description box below so that if you or someone you know needs it, can reach out to them. Finally, any last words for people living with autism, parents, partners, support structures, people that have accepted, people that are still accepting, people that are refusing to accept, different spectrums of acceptance? Last words.
It's like I've been saying, patience, support, self-care, understanding, and finding out how best can you get the help. It's not always about getting it private. You can even there's government hospitals that help with such clinics and so forth. You just need to find out the information. I'm still also finding my feet when it comes to this, because there's a lot, and you can never say you know what you're doing when you know. You can never. Don't ever tell yourself that you know. We don't know anything. We're just learning as we go. That's why we shouldn't even judge anybody or even ourselves. I think that's very important, because we judge ourselves. I'm one of those people. I'm very I'm my first critic. I always criticize myself. I'm my worst critic. Like everything I do, I want to do everything perfect. And I think that's one of the things also as an autism mom that I learned that, you know what, you don't always have to have it together. You don't always have to know everything. Take it as it comes, find the best support, the best help, and trust in God. Trust in God that He'll give you enough strength for you to keep on going and carrying it on. Yeah. That's mine.
Thank you so much for your time, for sharing all of this. I'm encouraged. I'm not a mom of an autistic child, but I'm encouraged. And I believe that people that are watching are also encouraged by what you've shared. And we wish you and your daughter all the best.
Thank you. I'll bring her to babysit.
We'll be working on the fruit of the Spirit in me. Yeah, but she's gorgeous. I'm actually going to take pictures of her and show you guys how gorgeous she is with a nice hair band
And she dressed
everything.
herself. She dresses herself, yes.
Sure, yeah. Maybe she's going to be a fashion designer or something. I actually look forward to seeing what God has in store for her and all she's going to be. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And thank you for watching. Leave us your comments. Let us know what you think about this, what you think of our lovely mama here. Please follow her on Instagram. We'll leave the handle here as well. And yeah, be sure to check the episode on bullying if you haven't. We'll link it right now on your screen. Until next time, bye for now.